We have you guys here live with Chris and Lee on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and
YouTube just hit.
YouTube just hit. Just hit. Kind of like AMC just hit.
No, it didn't.
Oh, it didn't?
AMC just tanked.
Oh,
dude.
it went the backwards then.
Dude, that's such a crazy ride.
Oh, man. Any of you guys in AMC? Any of you guys think that this thing was going to squeeze? Anywho, we're here to help you guys with your mortgage questions, home loan buying questions. If you have bad credit, we can help you. If you have low income, we can guide you. If you have no down payment, we have programs. So if your questions about mortgages, real estate, buying, selling, investing, please let us know in the chat. We're going to answer all questions. Just hang in there because sometimes this thing gets busy.
Zanny,
We can't
Crusher
get to all of them.
17, Tommy Klein, Diana Lara, Jesse Morin 365, Tommy Wong, Sarah Priscilla, Steve. There's a lot of people joining. We appreciate you guys. We're going to teach you how to buy a house in 2024, whether or not it's a good idea to buy a house in 2024. What today's current interest rates are. Please pull the rates. Where you can get the best interest rate. Whether or not you should be buying down your rate. That's a big question. Whether or not it's a good time for a buyer or a seller. When the market's going to crash, if it's going to crash. Are rates going down? Let's find out. We got a lot to cover today. But we're going to start with SBF got 25 years. I don't know why I want to start with that, but that's kind of a big deal.
No one knows what SBF means.
SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. He is the guy who was the owner, hedge fund manager of SBX. FTX. So SBF got 25 years. Ah, wow. So how does that affect you buying a house? Probably not at all. But interest rates right now are at 5.625. 5.625 on a 15-year fixed, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. FHA 5.75 and VA 5.75. So, what do you got, man? Talk to me.
I don't know. Hey, Hernandez, thank you for follow. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, everyone, for the hearts. Let's get some more exposure, guys. So please heart us. Please like us. Let me do a quick. Every time this thing goes up, I want you guys to screenshot it so that when you're ready to buy a house, you know who to call, you know where to go. And if you're just interested in buying a house like right now, literally go to the link in the bio, click on apply for a home loan now.
Chicago, Chi-Town.
Cisco
kid
was a friend of mine.
So from Chicago, what's up, man? We're great to see you. Do you have any questions? Wherever you guys are at, let us know where you're at. Are you listening to us East Coast, Midwest, Central, West Coast? East Coast is the best. West Coast is the best. Puerto Rico? What? Canada, what?
Jordan, what's up, man? How does down payment assistance work?
NYC in the
Always
house.
hear about it.
Okay.
So how does it work, man? How's down payment assistance?
Down payment assistance. Okay, so first off, down payment assistance isn't a special loan. It's a program that triggers and piggybacks on a loan that already exists, like FHA, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, sometimes VA, and rarely but occasionally USDA. So those are your primary loans in what's called the conventional conforming world. Now, on an FHA loan, your standard down payment for a first-time home buyer or even for just a primary residence, not first-time home buyer, primary residence is 3.5%. So 3.5%. Let's go with a $300,000 house. 3.5% is about $10,000. So you got to come up with 10 G's. All right. Let's say you can't come up with 10 G's. You make good money, but you just can't come up with 10 G's. Well, then we qualify you for a down payment assistance program. And if you were in California, we'd use CalHAFA. So we go to CalHAFA and we'd say, hey, this borrower has a great credit score, 800 credit score. This borrower makes a lot of money. They're not buying outside of their means. We'd like to plug the down payment assistance program into the FHA loan. So then CalHAFA would run their own guidelines and say, hey, yes, I agree, this person is perfect for this program, and they would give you a $10,000 down payment assistance program. However, it's not free. You do have to pay it back. It's what's called a silent second. It's quiet. It doesn't even show up when you pull credit, but it's out there. When you refinance, or you sell the house, they want their money back. So, is it free? No. Does it help you? Sure it does. It does help you. It does help you. CalHFA doesn't affect your interest rate a lot. It does a little bit, but not a lot. There are other programs. Let's just say, hey, Lee, I don't want to pay this back. Okay, cool, I got a program for you. It's the perfect program. It's called the Platinum Program. Well, the Platinum Program, it's great. It forgives the whole thing. It's a grant. As long as you keep the loan long enough, it's a grant. But the interest rate is much higher, much higher.
What's going on? Sean Williams out there asking if this is live.
Yeah, we're live.
Of course we are, Sean.
Live from New York. It's Saturday night. Well, no. Live from Riverside. It's Thursday, March 28th.
Still Thursday morning.
Yeah, still Thursday morning. Yeah.
All right, let's get some questions. Money Love in the NYC. Miss Carnell, if it's borrower and the I'm sure there's the rest of the question somewhere in there. A. Hernandez, are there grants for closing costs for non-first-time home buyers using conventional loans?
So, yes, A. Hernandez, 24. There are programs out there. As long as it is your primary residence. If it's your second home and or investment property, no. But if it is your primary residence, then most of the down payment assistance programs will work, save a few of them, a handful. But most of them will still work as long as it's your primary residence.
Oh, Cisco said, put the sign up so I can screenshot it again. There you go.
Cisco, ask and ye shall receive.
Might as well do a commercial.
Might as well. Hey, if you need a badass loan, call your badass loan officers. Your badass loan officers are Chris and Lee at New American Funding. You can reach them by calling these phone numbers because it's their private cell phone number. Hey, here's a little hack. Don't call while we're live because we're not going to answer. Anyway, that's it. Bye.
Bye. Devo, I'm conflicted. Take money out to build a second home. I have a half an acre or sell in Pomona, California.
So, I don't know, Devo. It's a lot. There's a lot going on there. So, I get this conversation and question a lot. Hey, I'd like to buy some land and build a house on it. That's everybody in America. I think everybody. Everybody wants to do that. They want their own piece of land. They want to build a house. But here's the problem with that. It's a profession. It's not so simple. It is a full-on project that there is a profession, general contractor, that understands how to do it. So it's not easy to do. It's very difficult to do. So conventional conforming loans deal with homes that you are ready to move into. That is FHA, VA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, USDA, and a few others. But those are your primary loans. But those, they want to have a house that you're ready to move into, not a project that you're trying to figure out as you go, and it might work and it might not. So that's a big question. It is a big question. And if you're wondering if you want to build a house, I would very strongly recommend you contact a general contractor and start the whole process and then learn about permitting. I'm actually building one right now. Permitting is not easy. It's a lot of stuff, and it's extremely expensive before you even break ground.
Yeah, Sean Williams on Facebook. I didn't use an FHA in my current house, but I'm looking for a more expensive house that I want to buy. Can I use FHA on my second house? It will be my new primary residence.
Sean, if it is your new primary residence, more than likely, yes. More than likely, yes. There are some catches and some reasons why there could be a no, but more than likely, yes. Give me a little bit more information. I'll be able to help you out a little bit more.
There you go. Miss Carnell, if it's the borrower and the co-borrower on the loan, can the co-borrower apply for a HELOC? Yes. The answer is yes. The co-borrower, just the co-borrower, just the borrower, combined, it's up to you. As long as they qualify, you can get your cash money. Mm-hmm. Cisco, got it, thanks. Jordan G, thanks for the info. Devo, I own very little on my loan.
All right, good.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you.
Awesome, yeah.
So you don't think that the Sam Brinkman-Floyd is going to impact the financial sector at all?
No, I don't think so.
As big as the tokens and the crypto and all that? Effect?
I think the effect has already happened.
Oh.
I don't think it's not going to affect it going forward. I think the sentencing is I think it's appropriate, 25 years. I didn't think he was going to get it because he's got some really connected parents.
Yeah?
Like really connected, like very connected. Like they are smart enough and connected enough that he could have been the patsy even though he was their son.
Wow.
That's how smart and connected they are. I
So
mean,
you think that they're the puppet master?
they might be the puppet
He's a
master.
dumb
They
kid?
sacrifice their kid for it. If there's a way to look at this, and if you understand it, it's pretty. But he got 25 years. 25 years. 25. That's a lot. And when FTX did crash, the market felt it. Everybody felt it. Everybody felt it. If you watched the market, you felt FTX.
Wow. Okay. Connor, what's up, man? I need the Chris and Lee commercial for the phone number. I just think the commercial is funny.
All right, cool.
We try to entertain, man.
Now, we want to make sure that everybody doesn't question whether they're live or not. So we're going to say, hey, it's 3/28/24 at 11:41 p.m. Pacific Standard. And if you need a badass loan, call a badass loan officer. If you need a badass loan officer, call Chris and Lee at New American Funding. We are your badass loan officers, and we can help you with your loan. This will disappear via special effects in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Special effects.
Dang, Connor.
There's a
See,
flip.
you request and you get it, man. You ask and you
shall
receive.
receive.
Jerry, to buy a second home, is it better to take a HELOC or get another mortgage? Which rates are better?
If you qualify for the second home, if it's not your primary residence and it's truly your second home, you're probably better off with a second home mortgage. HELOCs the rates are not good. I mean, no matter what, the rates are they're not good.
It's easier.
I have people contacting me all the time and saying, hey, I'd like to do a DSCR loan. I heard you're 5%. I'm like, 5% is for primary residents with 800 FICO score and 35 DTI.
And
If
then
you
they
have-
fight with you. They're
and
like,
then- No, I know, yeah. And they're like, there's people telling me my business all the time. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And they're like, well, I got another lender. I'm like, cool, go. Have a great time.
Sounds like the mafia.
And the fun part is because we get a lot of leads. We get a lot of people that want us to help. And for those that want us to help, we will dig in and help. But if you're like, hey, I'm looking at another lender, I'll be like, bye. I don't care. I'm not at the spot where I'm a desperate brand new loan officer going, please come with me, please come. So if you really want us to help, we know our shit. I mean, we really know our shit. When it comes to the loans, we know it cold. When it comes to the real estate, we know enough realtors to know you need a good realtor. That's a very big situation. I got 2 or 3 deals right now that if they had a good realtor, it would be in a whole different category.
Oh, yeah.
But everybody wants to save that 2%, 3%. I'm telling you, there's a reason these professions exist. We want to help you.
Yeah, Ms. Cornell. Okay, what if the co-borrower is retired? Can they still apply for the HELOC? Yes. The answer is yes. Here's the good thing about retirement, guys. It's guaranteed income. Providing you haven't overextended yourself with a bunch of debt, guaranteed income is probably the easiest and best. Retirement, Social Security, pensions, what is the one where you pay for kids? Child support, alimony, all that stuff. Dennis Moss, cash buy? I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means, Dennis. Kick in a little bit more.
Rocca said, haven't you seen The Big Short?
I have seen The Big Short. I love The Big Short. I think it's amazing. I started my financial career as a stockbroker, Series 7 stockbroker, worked for the Wolf of Wall Street. Check that shit.
Mr. Series 7?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The Big Short is an amazing movie because it's pretty damn accurate. It is unbelievably accurate. So, if you follow The Big Short, it was really good, really accurate. But it's not going to happen again. It's not going to happen the way it did anyway. It's not going to happen. At the end of The Big Short, they did say 3 little words for an acronym, which changed everything because it could be the new way it happens. But it's not going to happen the way it did before.
There you go. Dennis Moss is planning on buying a home cash. I got a question, Dennis Moss. How much are you going to buy, and how are you able to save that much cash?
Yep.
There are a lot of people out here struggling, so if you got the magic pill or you got some advice for people, please share with us because that's a big hurdle, really big hurdle.
I was talking with a young man yesterday, and he's like, hey, I just want to buy land and then build a house on it. And I'm like, yeah, everybody does. Everybody wants to buy land. Yeah, everybody wants to just buy land, buy a house. They're like, hey, can I do 3% down? I'm like, no, you can't. And they're like, why not? And I said, because nobody gives a shit about land, and there's too much risk in land. So the only land deals that I know, 50% minimum, and you have to have a good FICO score, but it's 50%. 50. So if you're trying to buy a $200,000 piece of land, you better have $100,000 and then the money to start building. And he says, well, what do you got to do after that? And he was actually trying to buy in Texas. And he said, well, then I'll start building the house. And I was like, whoop, before you do that, a couple things. You're probably too far in rural for anybody to care about permits and stuff, but how are you going to get electricity to your house? Electricity is very important, and they don't do it for free. They don't just go, hey, hook me up. If you're trying to run electricity out there, it could cost you 10, 20, 50, $100,000. It can cost you a lot. All right, cool. How about water? Are you sure you're close enough to an aquifer where you can actually drill a well and get water? Because if you're not, you need water. And then, how about your sewage system? You can build a septic system with the leach system, but that's 30 grand, 50 grand. So, in order to do that, there's a lot of process that happens.
Yeah. Do you offer DSCR loans in Puerto Rico?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't think so. I'm going to say
so
I don't
either,
think
yeah.
so. Because
I
we
don't
don't do
think so
traditional
either, yeah.
financing in Puerto Rico.
I don't think so either.
I mean, Puerto Rico is a what of the U.S.?
Territory.
So, are they Americans there or Puerto Ricans?
They're Puerto Rican, but they're territory.
Do they have Social Security numbers in Puerto Rico?
I don't
See,
know.
this is where all the. This is
Yeah,
why I
guess we're-
believe
yeah.
it's not
Well,
possible.
I was stationed, when I was in the Navy, I was stationed on Guam. And Guam is the same situation. It's a territory. And it's really strange. They have their own political systems and everything,
yeah,
but
have
they're
Social
kind
Security
of...
numbers.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to say maybe because, yeah, I think you're a territory. So I will try it. I will absolutely try it.
Blue passport.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, I will give it hell, man.
Yeah, we're gonna look into
I'll
that.
pull the guidelines. I will make sure. Tell you what, if it can be done, I've got the system to find out that it can be done. I just don't know that one off the top of my head.
Dennis, he's gonna sell in California and buy in Texas cash money. Big thing that a lot of people are doing right now with the California exodus.
There's a industry of realtors who say, hey, listen, I bought another house in Arizona. I bought another house in Texas. I'm going to teach people how to leave California and go live in Arizona, or how to leave California and go live in Texas. There's an industry of people like this. It's a lot of people leaving California to go to one of the other states. It's Florida, Texas, Arizona, and what's another big one?
Idaho was.
Idaho was, but it's not anymore.
Montana.
Okay, Montana. Okay, cool.
Devo, do you know if building a house on my existing property, there is a limit on square footage?
The limit on square footage is going to be determined by the county. So here's the thing. If you are part of a city, then there's city ordinances. And the city's going to say you can only build X amount and you have to submit the plans to the city. But if you're not in a city, then you're in a county. And the county has some blanket rules that you're going to have to follow. The blanket rules are always looser than the city. Once the property gets annexed into the city, everything that was already there gets grandfathered, but it depends on how far you are out and county city ordinances.
There you go, Devo.
Cool.
CCG just put $15K into maintenance, exterior paint, landscaping, rock, pruned acres, trees, etc. Cool. Good for you, man.
All right, good.
Tell me about what you did in your maintenance yesterday.
I don't know.
Always work to be done,
There's
doubt.
Once you're a homeowner,
Every day.
there's something every day.
Dude, my trash can gets filled so freaking fast.
Every day.
Why?
You don't think
How?
about these things, right? You would think that like just basic maintenance for lawn care or basic stuff things that you don't think about to your homeowner. You're like, hey, the gutters are clogged. So no, you better solve that.
Uh-oh.
Hey, what do we got?
I got the question of the year, man.
Tell me.
Sit back, take a seat, hang in there, grab a beer, grab a coffee. Question is from 392 Gilberto. What's your honest opinion on the Dream for All program?
Oh, Gilberto.
Hang in there.
Gilberto. You're gonna really love this, okay? So, I think I'm gonna go Uncle Cali on this one, okay? Okay, let's go Uncle Cali.
Give it 5 minutes, guys.
Here's what happens, okay? California likes to sell bullshit. They sell a lot of bullshit. Like a lot of bullshit. Not a little bit of bullshit, a lot of bullshit, a lot of bullshit. So here's what they say. Hey, if you want to get a house, we will help you. We're the state of California. We're going to help you. It's a dream of yours. Heck, we want a dream for all. We want a dream for all. Yes, we're going to help you with 20% down. 20% down. What? You're going to help you at 20% down? Oh, yeah, that's right, 100%. So let's figure a purchase price of $500,000. $500,000. Okay, cool. State of California says, no worries, I'm going to help you with 20% of that. 20%. I'm going to help you with $100,000. $100,000. California's going to step in like your uncle. He's your Uncle Cali. Yeah, he's going to step in with $100,000 for your $500,000 house. And you're like, oh, Uncle Cali, you're so great. I love you so much, man. I appreciate you. Dude, I didn't think family was here for us like that. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. No problem. We're in business together. And what do you mean we're in business together, Uncle Cali? What do you mean? Oh, yeah. That house we just bought, it's amazing. I love it. It's worth $500,000. I think it's going to be worth $800,000 in 4 or 5 years. So it's amazing. $500,000. We are in business together. I hope we do good. What do you mean we do good? Oh, that $100,000? Yeah. I want it back. Don't be stupid. What, you think, come on, you think I'm going to give you a gift? No, don't be stupid. Come on. You live in the real world, right? Yes. Okay, cool. I want my 100 grand back. And I want interest. You know what? Scratch interest. In California, the appreciation is much higher than the interest rates. So we're going to share in the appreciation. Yes, I want my 100 grand back, and I want shared appreciation. Wait a minute, Uncle Kelly. I thought you were going to help me. Oh, yeah. I'm helping you. I'm getting you 100 grand. I'm getting you 100 grand. And we own a house together. I want you to succeed. Yes, sir. Oh, one more catch, by the way. If we sell the house and only one of us gets made whole, it's me. I'm out first. I've got first rights out. I've got the superior lien to everything on this property. So I get my 100 grand back. I get equity appreciation, and I'm first out. Your Uncle Kelly's here for you. No worries. Yeah, I'm here for you.
Sounds
Is that pretty
awesome.
accurate?
Sounds awesome.
Is that pretty accurate?
Not just that, it's so limited.
It's accurate, right? It's accurate. Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, one more thing. You have to stand in line in order to get Uncle Kelly's help, and you have to put your name into a hat, and if you're lucky, Uncle Kelly will draw you out of the hat. No shit, that's the real. If you read through the guidelines, that's what it is. And then there's a little provision in there that says, hey, if you're poor and you can prove it for the last 3 years, they might take 75% of what they gave you, but you have to prove it for the last 3 years. So what's my opinion on it? If it's the difference between you not owning a house and owning a house, I say do it. But if you can do it without, do it without.
Devo, the one that's wants a property that has asked about square footage, building on his property, LA County, Pomona, California.
Cool. Love LA County.
What's involved in the USDA?
The USDA, United States Dairy Association? I don't know. What is it?
United States something
Okay.
agricultural.
So USDA, here's some good news. Here's some really good news. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. You're going to line up for a USDA loan. Okay? 0 down. How much? 0. How much you need to come for the down payment? 0. You heard me right? 0. That's awesome. Well, why doesn't everybody use the USDA loan? Because the USDA loan is designed to help populate rural areas. So it has to be in an area that the government wants people to live in, and then they actually approve the address. So if you're trying to buy in a city, no USDA loans. Anywhere in California, the LA, San Bernardino County, Riverside County, probably nowhere in there. If you get, San Bernardino County, maybe in Barstow, there's a few areas that USDA might qualify. But if the property qualifies for USDA, then we start to qualify the borrower. So you send a property, you don't have to send it to me. You can just go to USDA.gov, type in the address. You can find out whether or not that address is qualified. If it is, then we go through and we start qualifying you, the buyer, for a USDA loan. Hope that helped.
Yeah. GCS Auto Detailing said, what's a live and trust? I don't know what that means.
A living trust.
Oh,
A living trust. Very
okay.
good. Okay, so good. That's on Instagram, right? Instagram?
Yeah.
So I appreciate you very much detailing. So a living trust is a way to avoid probate. First, I have to tell you, I'm not an attorney. Just as a loan officer, I deal with living trusts all the time, and I've been in finance since 1992, so I get it, but I'm not an attorney. So a living trust helps you avoid probate. Probate is upon your passing, your assets will transfer through to somebody. If you don't have a way for them to transfer, then they will go through probate and a judge will do it for you. But if you have a living trust and it's done properly, funded properly, kept up to date, then you skip probate entirely and the living trust goes through via the successor trustee to whoever you intended it to go through. We strongly recommend living trust for anybody who has a house. I think if you own a house, you should have a living trust.
Yeah. Devo says, thanks. CCG gave us a little person with a blue shirt. Gabo, my problem is credit score, not down payment.
All right. Well then, Gabo, we got a solution. Here's the solution, okay? Now, you should probably get a pen out, Gabo, and you should probably put on your thinking cap because we're about to give you the solution. Get your credit score up. Boom. See that? You see how I guess just facts? Yeah.
5 words.
Facts. Just facts. Just facts.
So if you have a problem with your credit and it's really trash, and I mean by really trash is less than a 580 with a bunch of drama, what you're going to want to do is go to the link in our bio, click on Fix My Credit, and then get started with credit repair. And yes, there's a question down here that said, do you have a reliable company that's reputable and does the work, blah, blah, blah. Yes, there it is. Right up top in the bio, Fix My Credit, get that process started.
Yep.
Uncle Lee, Uncle Christopher, Yuma, Arizona.
We're here for Yuma, Arizona. We appreciate you in Yuma, Arizona.
Heck yeah. Okay, so this is Dream for All. What if you never sell the house?
If you never sell the house, the California is going to be around longer than you are. The state of California is going to be around longer than you. They have no problem waiting. They have no problem waiting. They'll wait you out all day long. It's, if you ask me, it's, hey, the California is going, hey, you know what? Where can we invest our money where it's almost guaranteed we will never lose a dime and we will eventually get it back?
Politics.
No, you don't
Be
know
a
if you're gonna
senator.
get back. Yeah,
A congressman.
No, you know what? Let's buy California real estate.
Oh.
Yeah, but we can't buy California real estate. We're the state of California. That just looks wrong for us to step in and start buying real estate. Yeah, but all we have to do is make the stupid people think that we're helping them, and they'll do it on they'll do it on our behalf. So why don't we just throw like $50 million or $100 million in and buy up a whole bunch of California real estate? And well, wait a minute. How are we going to get the people to approve? We'll tell them we're doing it for them.
It'll be for you.
I love it, man. Dude, if you peel back this stuff and you actually understand it, it's just laughable. I put it out there. Even if you put it out there, it doesn't change it. It's just, it is what it is. We have the politics system that's in California. You can't change. I mean, I can vote. I do. I vote all the time. But that's a piece. That's a little tiny piece. And that really is, if you really pull this apart, state of California's got X hundreds of millions or 50 million, whatever the number is. But they're like, hey, let's buy California real estate. Yeah, we can't do that. It's weird. It won't go good. Just tell the people we're helping them. That's it.
Have them do it. Man, that's a good scam.
Oh, my God.
Rajvinder, my girl Rajvinder in the house, sharing
What's
the
up,
live.
Rajvinder?
We need you guys to like. Rajvinder always tells me, you got to tell them to like, because if you
Heart
tell
us
them
up.
to like,
Give us
you'll get
some-
more exposure.
Throw a mustache on.
Whoa! Cowboy hat.
Hats. Who gave us hats?
That's probably Rajvinder.
We love
man.
you. We love you.
Yep,
Rajvinder gave us
Rajvinder.
hats. We love hats.
That's our girl.
Yeah, we like helping people, especially when you come back to us and you help. We helped you out in any way. We either gave you some advice, we help you close a deal, whatever. We're always in some type of challenging situation. Always, always, always. It's fun when I see somebody that we've helped through a challenging situation, whether we've been your loan officer or not. We just gave you the advice.
Yeah.
There's some people we just give advice to, and they're like, hey, I closed. Thank you, guys. We're like, hey, that's great. Amazing. Thank you.
George, with the scenario of them taking a percentage of the appreciation. Question mark. I don't know what that means, but yes, that is something that happens inside of it.
Yes.
Credit repair. Who do you recommend? We told you it's up top in the bio. I am God is back.
Oh, shoot.
I am God. You don't want
a living trust. Oh, God.
You want a foreign grantor
Oh,
trust.
that's amazing. Oh, I love this guy. Oh, you love your phone. So I am gonna address this for a second, because there's something called a family trust and there's something called a living trust. Okay, a family trust is an entity. It's a special entity. It has an EIN number. It gets registered with the IRS. It has to be granted for birth by the state and then recognized by the federal government. A little complicated, but that's there. A living trust rides the social security number of the trustor. The trustor is the creator of the trust. And because it rides the social security number of the trustor, it's called a revocable living trust, which means you can revoke it, you can put it back in place, you can revoke it, put it back in place. That's a revocable living trust. Irrevocable is upon the passing of the of the trustor, then it gets granted an EIN number, and it's an entity that lives on its own, and now it's a whole different game. So, for those who are thinking, hey, I'll just put it in my corporation, not a good idea. I don't know. I'm not your attorney. You need to contact your attorney. But the reason we recommend a living trust is only for one thing. It's only one thing. It's not to hide from creditors. It's not to run from the bank. It's not, nothing. The only thing it's designed to do is avoid probate. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else it's designed to do.
Yep. There you go, guys. Jay Camps, there you go. That's what a living trust is.
Yes.
Camacho says, U.S. Department of Agriculture,
There we go.
man.
Thank you very much,
Come
man.
on.
I appreciate
Come on.
you. I just
Camacho
faced
always
that.
has our back.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Camacho.
Love it. What's this? Koala Laugh King, would you recommend a mainstream trust generator company or have an attorney create the trust?
Depends on how complicated your life is, like if you have 5 properties and you want it to go to different kids in different situations, you probably want a full attorney. If you're simple and you have some kind of tech savvy, I won't recommend it because I can't. But I can say I've used LegalZoom in the past. I can say, and LegalZoom charges you a little bit, but you do have to do, by the way, the most important part of that is funding the trust. I have actually seen people not fund the trust, and you don't even have to, it's a joke. You never created a living trust. So you must fund the trust, but when you talk to your attorney or hire an agency or whatever to do it, they're going to teach you about all this stuff. And that means that your property is in the name of the trust in the county, properly registered. That is funding the trust. It's a little bit more complicated, but boom.
Retired Private Eye said, "Who's your loan officer?" Like, who's your daddy?
Yeah.
Lee or Chris?
I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys.
Ryan said, "What did the Fed say, man?"
What'd the Fed say? I don't know. What'd the Fed say? Yeah.
Remember that song?
What did the fox say?
So what did the Fed say, man? What's going on in the markets?
Well, the Fed, I think we're talking about Jerome Powell. A little bit ago, the markets were freaking out. And so the markets freak out with uncertainty. And remember that the 10-year mortgage, the mortgage is based off the 10-year yield. Okay? And then traditionally it's between 100 and 150 basis points from the 10-year yield. Currently the 10-year yield is 5.25 to 5.5. That's the, I'm sorry, not the 10-year yield. That's the prime rate. The 10-year yield bounces off that, and then that creates your mortgage rate. But when there's uncertainty in the market, that 100 to 150 basis points spreads all the way up to 250 basis points. And that translates into more expensive interest rates. Now, once the Fed says, hey, we still believe there are 3 interest rate reductions in the calendar year 2024, which is what they said. And we believe it's going to be a bumpy ride, but it is exactly as we expect, which is essentially in a nutshell what they said. The uncertainty in the market went away and the rates started coming down. And they're going to come down until they find that comfortable spot. And the last time they came down, the comfortable spot was 5.25% on a 15-year fixed. Right now we're at 5.625.
What? That's amazing.
We're at 5.625 with the same. By the way, the Fed hasn't changed the rates in 10 months probably. And the prime is 5.25 to 5.5, and the 10-year yield is reflecting that. The uncertainty in the market is what's creating the fluctuation in the mortgages. That's very complicated, by the way. You don't need to know all this shit. You don't. Yep. You need to know to call us, and we will handle it. That's what you need to know. You also need to know that we know what the hell we're talking about. That's why I get into the technical sometimes.
X Station 21. Dak Prescott is a mortgage advisor during the offseason.
You are correct, man. The Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl in so long. He needs extra money, dude. He needs some extra money. You know why?
Tough.
Because we made it to the playoffs last year. First round. Dak choked.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Hey, man, go easy on me.
Easy. Dak choked. He choked. And he's like, shit, what do I do in the offseason? I know.
Loans.
I'll do loans.
In the shittiest market in my life.
There you go. Let's do it. Yes.
Devo's back. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Great information. Thanks,
appreciate
man.
you, Devo, man.
Doc, that's not correct. A revocable trust takes control of your straw man, and then you have control.
Hold on. I don't know what that means. I would like for you to dig in.
Then he said, people would stop endorsing with a blank endorsement, then they wouldn't have a payment.
Oh, this is another one of those weird guys who thinks they understand the system.
And then I Am God follows it up with,
cool.
Give the definition of a mortgage.
people would stop. I'm people. Is that a word?
It's a bot.
Okay.
That's what that is.
Okay. People would stop endorsing with blank endorsements. They wouldn't have a payment. Okay. I don't get it. So I would like to help you. Cool.
Bot.
Yeah. Tuning in daily, Luna and Bagheera. We appreciate you. Bagheera. Give the definition of a mortgage. A mortgage is, in the simplest terms, you borrow money with the house as the asset. It's a mortgage. And you pay it back over a prescribed period of time with a prescribed period, or interest rate, rather.
Okay, this one's very interesting to me.
Cool.
Co-Laugh King. Thanks for the information. Good job handling the hecklers. The heckler statement and the laugh king leads me to believe that you're some kind of comedian or in the comedic business or comedy or something like that. Let me know, because we're looking for a comedian, actually, because we're going to try to morph this system to television. Yeah, so let me know who you are.
We got some big stuff planned. We want to bring in comedians. We want to bring in people. We actually influencers. If you happen to have some version that you influence, we want to help you. And by the way, I dig the hecklers. I dig them, man. I dig them because I understand the shit. I understand this stuff. And I've been around so long. I've seen life springs. I've seen cults. I've seen financial situations. My entry into the world was as an employee of the Wolf of Wall Street. Literally, that's how I got involved into finance. And I left, and they sued me. Yeah, and I had the balls to go to court, and I won. Holy smokes, that happened. Yeah, anyway.
Okay, real quick, guys. From time to time, we get in a little bit of trouble. So I want you guys to know that we're on all these platforms. We're streaming all these all the time. It's called the multicast. So right now we're on all platforms. Please subscribe to the others in case one of these says no for the day.
Okay, cool. We're here for you.
Goldilocks. Currently have my initial closing disclosure, but no word of appraisal. That is strange.
Yeah, you can't have a CD. Well, no, I don't think you know what you're talking about. That's not with disrespect. You probably have your initial loan estimate. Your loan estimate is the estimated costs and everything associated with the loan. Closing disclosure is the final. It's absolutely what has to be. So those are two different, it's their terms in the loan officer world. You need to know them. You just need to have a good LO. So you probably have your LE, that's your initial loan estimate. Because once you get your closing disclosure, the reason they send closing disclosure is so that we start the 3-day federal right of rescission, because after 3 days, I can sign, fund, and record. That's why you send CD. Oh, it says CD on the paperwork.
I'm going to say it says initial disclosure, not closing disclosure. Yeah. That's my guess.
Yeah,
because maybe have an appraisal.
If not, send it to us. We'll take a look at it. Yeah. There are rules in the system, and the rules are made to favor the borrower who is not in the loan business. Inside of that, you should have broken down into A, B, C, D, E, and all of those categories should be pretty clear going, hey, this is the loan part. All right. These are the services you can shop for. You can shop for insurance or whatever. These are the services you cannot shop for. You cannot shop for appraisal because the appraiser has to be licensed by or approved by the bank. So there's are we licensed in Colorado? Yes, we are. All 50 states. All 50. How many? 50. How many? All of them. All 50 states. You just followed us. We appreciate you. We appreciate the follow. There's a way to do this. By the way, there's two very distinct lines on this. One of them is direct lender. One of them is broker. The rules are just a little bit different for both. A little bit. Not one is better than the other. Some people are like, hey, I go broker, I'm better. Hey, I go direct lender, I'm better. No, it's Ford, Chevy. They're about the same. They're like about the same. There are pros and cons to each, by the way. They're in the broker, like in the direct lender world, I have to set my commission. That's it. That's what I get. It's not going to change. In a broker world, I get to choose if I want to make 300 basis points or 100 basis points, and then I have 40 different broker lines that I can send it to, and however much commission, that's the category that I send it to. I get to choose my commission, and that's usually based off of how good is this borrower and how likely are they to shop me. Because if they're not likely to shop me, I can go for high commission, and I'm not worried about losing it. But if they are likely to shop me, they're going to send their LE to Chris and Lee. Chris and Lee's going to smoke it, and then Chris and Lee are going to teach him the game, and they're going to try and backpedal of why they gave you, whoa, that's somebody, let's see what I can do. And they'll shop you to somebody they should have shopped you to the first time. Yeah. So there's pros and cons to both, and we've made our brand of kind of just putting it out there. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Devo, in my 40s, is it too late to sell real estate?
Hell no. Devo, hell no.
40s that's actually 25.
That's probably the best time. Here's why. Because you understand life. You understand the discipline needed in order to succeed. I can't tell you how many 20-year-old realtors that I have, pretty girls that are like, hey, I got myself a new C-Class Mercedes-Benz and a Dolce & Gabbana bag, and I'm ready to go sell real estate. I'm like, yeah. Have you cold called today? Have you knocked doors? Are you working your sphere of influence? Have you called 50 people? Have you had 50 meaningful conversations? Have you done all this stuff? I'm like, no. But I look good.
I did this on social media.
I did this. Yeah, they take a picture on social media and they're like, I don't know why the market's so tough. It's so tough. And I say, okay, cool. Here's the deal. You work in Rancho Cucamonga. All right. I'm going to hit you with something. Let's just say we're out in a social event and I say, oh, you work in Rancho. You're a realtor. That's great. how many houses for sale in Rancho? And they go, well, am I supposed to know that? I said, you're presenting yourself as a professional in Rancho Cucamonga. This is very public data. I need to come to somebody who understands it. What's the mean price in Rancho Cucamonga? What's the highest sold in the last 90 days? What's the lowest price sold in the last 90 days? Well, how am I supposed to know? You're the professional. That's why. That's like somebody saying, hey, what are interest rates?
All right, Colaf King, we'll see you later.
Sorry.
No, he just had to go back to work.
All right, cool. I appreciate you.
No, yeah, but go ahead, keep going.
Hammer
Hammer this one home.
Yeah. So if you ask me what interest rates are, as a loan officer, I know the range. I know that New American Funding is putting out at 5.625. I also know that I cannot quote you directly until I pull your credit, calculate your income, check out your assets, and figure out your profile, in which case I can quote you directly. But I know this stuff cold. If you ask me what's the minimum for FHA, that doesn't change. It's 580. That's it. If you ask me what's the minimum for FICA or for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, it's 620. I know what that is. If you ask me for the loan limits in the counties that I work with, I know them. Can I buy a 4-unit in Los Angeles for $1.5 million? I don't have to check with the guidelines. It's yes. It's yes. That's it. That's because it's what I do for a living. So if you're going to be a realtor, just know your shit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Claudia Uribe is a realtor in Colorado. She knows exactly what we're talking about. I'm sure of this. And Claudia, reach out to us. We always need good people across the nation. We're helping people from coast to coast, and we need the agents to support us.
Yeah, we get leads like crazy off of what we do here, off of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We get a lot of leads. We get a lot of people who want to buy houses.
Rose is like, how about Florida?
Do Florida all day, every day. In fact, Florida's my new favorite state. My new favorite state. You know why? Because they just passed yesterday the anti-squatter laws. You want to see some good videos? There's going to be some good videos of people kicking out squatters in Florida. Because I'll tell you what, go to TikTok and you put squatters out, because squatters are a problem. It's not. You wouldn't think it's a problem, but it's a problem. Squatters are a big problem. And in Florida, Governor DeSantis yesterday just signed something, and I saw today that they started this shit, man. They got some big burly guys going in. Hey, you got to get out of here now. You can either get out of here in one piece, or you can get out of here any way you want to, but you got to get out of here. And they're kicking people out, and I'm so happy about that.
Love it. Kaylee, can I get a down payment assistance in Texas with 605 credit score?
You tell her.
Yeah, heck yeah. All day, every day, just like he said.
Why? Only why?
Only here.
Whoa.
With Chris and
Right
Lee.
here? Only what?
New American Funding.
Yeah.
We're the only ones doing this. We
Well,
will give you a down payment assistance
yeah.
program. It could be a gift. You could pay it back. There's a lot of different options. Starts at a 600 credit score. So, Kaylee, you need to reach out to us.
Yep.
Goldilocks is back. I'm assuming the
Goldilocks.
appraisal was already done since I got the disclosure. Closed next Friday. Then, yeah, that's where you're at.
Yeah, you might be. Yeah, and if, by the way, if you really want to know if you got a good deal, send us a locked LE. Tell your LO, that's your loan officer. Tell your LO, can I get a locked LE? The minute you say that, he knows you're going to shop him. But he also can't bullshit you anymore, because everything that that puts in there has to be committed to lend. That means that this is what you're going to get. But prior to that, they could be floating the rate. You don't know you're paying for the rate. There's a lot of things that could be happening. But if you send me a locked LE, that's what you're getting. And if you send me a locked LE, I'll go to my management and go, hey, listen, can we do way better for this client? Can we? And we'll find out if we really can. And if we can't, we'll tell you.
Goldilocks, tell your loan officer, send me the appraisal. That's your appraisal. You paid for that.
Good point.
You probably already paid $600 for it. So call them and say, give me a copy. That's mine.
That's yours. Yep.
Benji and Events. Credit score 770. Car loan and credit card, great standing, 40 to 45K yearly. What can Benji afford?
40 to 45K, Benji, you're probably in the 170 range, 160, 170, 180. You might push 200, maybe, but there's some things we got to look at, and it also depends on your property tax base. Where are you at? What's state, city, county? And don't buy a new build. Stay away from new builds. At that level of income, stay away from new builds.
Claudia Uribe, I'm under contract and close 424. Are we still in time for you to give me an estimate?
All day. All day. 424? Shoot, we got a month.
Screenshot.
Yeah, by the way, this is how it works. Claudia. When you go into a contract, you have a seller who wants to sell a house. You have a buyer who wants to buy it. And you have a lender who wants to lend on it. Those are the three major parties. There's others like notaries and stuff like that. Title, escrow. But Those are the major parties. So seller wants to sell, buyer wants to buy, lender wants to lend. Okay, so lender wants to lend. This all comes together in escrow. You can change your lender. You just have to notify escrow. You just say, hey, escrow, I'm not good with this lender who wants to lend. I want to substitute the other lender. No, they don't care. They don't care. The only one who ever really cares is the buyer's agent, because there's usually some type of relationship, and if you have a bad lender, it can throw your deal off. The bad lender can destroy a deal. And be truthful with your loan officers. Do not lie to your loan officers. Don't, because we'll pass on the information. And if you say, hey, I'm not married, and I'll just pass it on, and I'll say, hey, underwriter, they're not married. And then an underwriter will pull something called LexisNexis, and they'll find out, yeah, you're married. I didn't know it. The loan officer didn't know it. But the underwriter now knows. And they're like, hey, who is this person? Then I have to go back and go, hey, who is this person? And like, well, I didn't think I was married. Come on. Yeah, so don't lie to your loan officer. We got to know the data so we can work with you. If we know the data, we structure it so it goes to the underwriter correctly.
Yeah. Kaylee, my lender offered me a 6.99 on an FHA loan. My credit score is a 605. Do you have a better rate? Well, two things. Let me address this.
You go.
Two things.
You go.
First, you asked about the down payment assistance.
Yeah,
now you're asking about a traditional FHA loan. Yeah. Totally different.
Very different.
But I can get damn close to that with down payment assistance.
What?
Yes.
What?
So you need to call us, Kaylee. You just need to call
What?
us. Let's get this thing moving. I am God.
Oh, here
Keep
we go
your
again.
money until you become an educated consumer. Don't sign a mortgage. It's a D.
It's a D. It's a D.
I
All
don't know
right,
what
cool. Dude, I appreciate you, man. I really do appreciate you. I don't agree with you, but I appreciate you. Yeah, because the don't sign a mortgage, that's basically, okay, so let me give you the downside of that, okay? Let's say you live in IRL, not on paper. Because living on paper, if you live on paper right now, the President of the United States says the economy is the best it's ever been. People are happier than they've ever been. And this is just amazing. We've added more jobs than we've ever added. And on paper, he's right. But in IRL, in real life, it's not how it works. It's not how it works. So in IRL, let's just say you have a family, a wife and a kid, and you are supplying them with a house. You're renting an apartment, and you're paying $3,000 a month for the rent. You know why? Because in IRL, that landlord doesn't listen to the bullshit that you give. They're like, hey, I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't owe you any rent. No, you owe them rent, so you go down the street. So you got to pay $3,000 a month. So let's just say you pay $3,000 a month for a full year. That's $36,000. Let's say you did it for 3 years. That's over $100,000. Now, you can't pull that sovereign citizenship with a landlord or an apartment complex because the law's on their side. They'll say, hey, 3-day notice. Cool. Mr. Sheriff, can you get them out? All right, they're out. Now it goes on your record. Fine. You can't pull the sovereign citizenship. Shit. So, anyway, you got to pay $3,000 a month. Over 3 years, you've paid $100,000 because you were so smart you didn't want to get into a mortgage that you would have paid $100,000 if it was $3,000 a month. The difference is that if you paid a mortgage, you have a gigantic tax write-off. And if you can afford $3,000 a month, you're probably making more than $5,000 or $6,000 a month. So you're paying $60,000 to $72,000, I guess even higher, to $100,000, and you need write-offs. Guess what? Sovereign citizenship, shit or not, that is 100% write-off. So you get to write it off on your taxes, unless you're not paying your taxes, in which case you're in bigger trouble than you thought. And now you actually own something. You have equity appreciation, tax write-offs, all because you didn't say, hey, I don't think this government's a good government. I'm not going to supply them with the bodies to do their stupid bidding. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. There you go. Rose is looking to be a first-time home buyer in Florida, so you need to call us.
Rose,
All right, guys.
Rose. If you need a badass loan, call a badass loan officer. You can reach your badass loan officers, Chris and Lee at New American Funding. You can call them directly on their cell phone right here. But don't do it while we're live because we're not going to answer. This will disappear in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bye.
Boom.
Cool.
Thank you for the love, Devo and Eric.
Devo, we appreciate you guys
David,
following us.
coming with the truths. DPA isn't as good as advertised.
Oh, DPA is not. It's a hook. It's like when you're buying a car, if you're in the car mindset and you're in that headspace where you're like, hey, I'm looking for a car. And all these car commercials say, hey, you too can get this car for $299 on approved credit with $10,000 down. And when they do that, all the crap was underneath that. But you know what you heard? $299 a month. and you're like, hey, I heard I can get me a car on $299 a month. Well, what they're trying to do is get you in the door, and then they're like, hey, you got to get a car anyway. And you're like, yeah, I guess I got a car anyway. And then they kind of beat you up and a whole bunch of different ways they make profit in the car business. But the down payment assistance programs are kind of the same. They're like, hey, but they don't even have to push it out there. Everybody wants free money, and there's no free money. There is no free money. There is no free money. If there is free money, the guys who are in the system know how to get it. They already got it. There's no more left.
There you go. Rose is like, I need it. I'm going to be a first-time home buyer. Yes, you will. Coach JP, we hawking. Okay.
All right. Hey, what's up, Coach JP? Soccer coach.
Okay. Luna and Bagheera. Even if it's with another New American Funding LO, my current one has horrible communication.
Well, yeah. Well, when he was talking about if it was the down payment assistance programs, New American Funding actually puts some of their money up and they build what's called a proprietary product, which isn't available to anybody other than New American Funding. All loan officers at New American Funding can do it. If you have a problem with your LO and you want to switch LOs, first talk with your LO. Yeah. First, I'm not going to try and take I'm not going to try and take their business. But if they're truly not giving you the service, just say, hey, I talked to Chris and Lee. Can we work something out? And what I'll do is probably say, hey, listen, I'll tell you what, split the deal with you. I'll take it from here. Got you. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know, but it doesn't hurt.
Madison Clark, I have a 500 credit score and $100K down payment denied everywhere due to late car payments. There's still a possibility of that 100K.
100K buys a lot of, that buys a lot of forgiveness.
I'd like to see that file.
I'd like to see. Why don't we let me look at that FICO?
Let me take a look.
Yeah.
I am God, but homes are for sale by owners that finance.
You are correct. Cute, but you are correct. That's not how it works. You're like, hey, you know what? I want to sell my $500,000 house. I'm willing to take $3,000 a month for the next 30 years. No, I want $500,000 when I walk away. That's how it works.
Yeah. Andrea, how long does it take to get pre-approved?
Depends on how serious you are, Andrea. Andrea, if you're just trying to figure it out, probably 24 to 72 hours after I have all of the documents. That's when the clock starts. After I have all the documents. If you are like, I'm going into escrow tonight, I can do it in 2 hours.
All right. Rye, can I get a loan without a job? $2 million in the bank, 800 credit score.
Rye, if that's a real situation, maybe yes. Maybe yes. There's something called depleting assets. What I did, I have a friend of mine who's a realtor, and he goes to Vegas and plays Vegas all the time, and he literally won millions of dollars. He makes $100,000 a year as a realtor, but he literally won millions of dollars. Literally, like millions. Calls us, hey, I'm a millionaire. Bullshit. Look. Holy shit, you're a millionaire. Okay, cool.
He was like, look.
Yeah, I know. Look at the Rolex. Yeah. Lives like you guys. So anyway, he says, I want to buy $1 million house. And I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how this is going to work. Hey, this guy's got millions in the bank now. Millions. But I can't qualify him for a house because he's got no income. He's got $100,000 a year in income. So I said, okay, how do I do this? Oh, you know what? I'm going to create a stream of income for him for $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month. I'm going to create a stream of income. The guideline says if I can prove a stream of income for 3 years or more, I can use it. So $5,000 a month times 12 months is $60,000. Cool. He's a millionaire. $60,000 is no problem. But I need to do it for over 3 years. So I said, hey, 3 years exactly is $180,000. Let's do it this way. Let's take $250,000 and we'll do a SPIA. A SPIA is a single premium immediate annuity. So we put $200,000 in his left pocket, and then we guaranteed that he's going to get $5,000 a month to his right pocket over the next 5 years-ish. So $5,000 a month. Now I have a stream of income. With that stream of income, he's got $1 million house.
You got it right. You got the recipe right there. Give us a call. Let's get it in motion. Cool. Connor, best commercial in the business. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate the love. User, your badass gave up on me when I had a 583 median score. Took care of debt. Now at 700 and closing. Okay.
All right. You got 3 followers and 0 likes. I don't know what to say, man. We don't give up on you. We don't give up. We send you places. We get you fixed. And then we make it work. I don't know if that's true because you have no followers and no real name.
Irma's Boutique. Hello. Is it a good time to refinance? My percentage is 7.3.
Irma's Boutique. Probably not unless you have to. Now, that's weird because most loan officers are going to say, why, yes, it's a great idea to refinance. You know why? Because they make a commission. And if a loan officer makes, let's say your house is your loan is $300,000, and that loan officer is on 100 basis points, he makes $3,000, like right now. So if he's on 200 basis points, he makes $6,000. If he's on 300 basis points, he makes $9,000. So it's in his best interest to say yes. Here's why I say it depends on your situation. Because the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, has actually said we anticipate 3 interest rate reductions in the calendar year 2024 and 5 in the calendar year 2025, which means interest rates are going down, which means you are going to refinance. But if you don't have to, you should strategically plan so that you refinance once. You pay the cost of the refinance, and then you buy the rate as deep as you possibly can if it's a forever home. And in that situation, you're going to pay it once, and then you're going to get the benefit of a good loan. But if you deal with an unscrupulous loan officer, he's going to want you to refinance every time it drops 50 to 100 basis points, and you're going to refi once, and then refi again, and then refi again, and refi again, refi again. And every time you do, he puts money in his pocket.
Andra, I have a house I want to buy. To make an offer ASAP, my current loan office won't return my call.
Andra,
you already know
call
what to do.
Chris as soon as we're done, which is not very long from now. It's going to be like 4 or 5 minutes. Call him, give all the documents, and we'll have something done like now.
Madison Clark, I got 130 in the current housing, wanting to sell by 350, 80 income, paying off once sell. Paying cars off once sell. That's a good plan, Madison.
That's a great plan,
same
Madison.
Thing.
Yeah, same plan.
Thing.
Call us.
Get that bad boy rolling.
Yeah. And by the way, the loan business is a tough business. It's really tough. It's the most. There's so many loan officers that didn't make it. It's sad to say because a lot of my friends are loan officers. A lot of my friends are realtors because I'm in the business, and I have to watch people go off and start a different career, and they're not coming back. They're not coming back. If your loan officer is also working at Starbucks, it's not coming back. This is a full-time business. You need to really understand it. We get guideline change notifications basically every single day. Every day something changes. We need to know what's going on. So if your LO is not getting back to you, it's probably not because he's too busy. It's probably not. We got a lot of people that are not kind of serious. They're like, hey, can you give me a quote? I'm like, send me all the data. Never mind. All right, bye. All right.
I'm sitting on probably 40 files right now.
40
files. Where they gave us socials, birthdays, a lot of data, but we're still missing docs.
Yeah.
So if you're one of you are watching right now, you know who you are. Your file sits. It just sits. There's nowhere to go.
And we move on to the next one because we got more. But if you're like ready to go into escrow tonight and you mean it, oh yeah, I'm on the phone with your realtor and I'm like, hey, listen, they're like, hey, Lee, I want to put an offer in tonight. I'm like, cool. Do we have EMD? Yes. Earnest money deposit? Yes. All right, cool. You know what? Let me get to work on this thing. I'll move everything else aside so you can get into escrow tonight. Why? Because we work off commission. The deals that we close, we get paid on them. We get paid on them. So we want to close your deals.
So if you guys want to get the process started and you don't even want to wait to talk to us and you want to get moving, go to the link in the bio. Select get my loan, start my loan process, get a home loan, something like that.
Okay, so time for one more. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Let's just take TikTok, whatever. Okay, gave me an estimate of 29 PITI. How do I drop that number? PITI is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, okay? So there's ways to drop it. There's ways. You could shop your insurance and get a cheaper insurance. That's one way. You can make sure your property tax is input correctly. A lot of times it's not. And it could go up or down. That doesn't necessarily drop it. But if it's incorrect, you need to know your correct number anyway because you'll have to pay it. The most important one is principal and interest. You can borrow less money and reduce the principal, or you can get a lower interest rate. Is it always a good idea to buy down to a lower interest rate? Not always a good idea. That's a complicated one. Tune in tomorrow and I'll tell you. We've been Chris and Lee. We appreciate you.
See you guys.